Okay, so in this video, I'm going to talk about a technique I use that's a little different from vibrato. So imagine yourself in high school. You know how they teach you to put your finger on the string and you wiggle it like that, and you get this nice classical sound like this. You know, that's great for classical, but you know, in certain circumstances, when playing different styles of music, certain styles of music call for different styles of vibrato. So, in this video, I'm going to talk about the different style of vibrato that I use for country music, bluegrass, maybe jazz. Because the way singers sing different types of music is a different approach. So in country music, I like to use a wider vibrato. So it would sound, I don't want it to sound classical, I want it to sound in a different style, so that's why I use a wider vibrato, rather than a more focused vibrato that's used for classical. You know, that sounds great for the Mahler solo because it's classical, you know, but for something like this, a wider vibrato for that. And so how I do it is just really simple. Instead of, you know, you can see my hand, this is the classical vibrato here. So I'm using a full arm motion to do that. Now for the wider, what I call the wiggle vibrato, you just really, all you do is wiggle. You do a lot of wrist motions. You're like flicking your wrist like this. And you know, as you can tell, it sounds very Chinese. And that's one of the benefits of using this different wider wiggle, what I call wiggle vibrato, is that you can play different styles of music the way it should be played because of how the singers sing it. As you know, vibrato is basically what you do to emulate singers, right? And classical singers are sing classical music. That's how they sing that. That's the vibrato they use. But for, you know, maybe for a Chinese music like what you just kind of heard, it's a little different. It's a little more wavy. And that's an example of wavy vibrato. So remember, to achieve something like that, you start by flicking your wrist with it, and you kind of go up and down. That flick motion sends that finger going like this. You know, and it's very good for country style too. So that's the wiggle vibrato, and I hope you guys enjoyed that little tutorial there. Before I end this video, I get questions about the bow I use, and this is actually a carbon fiber bow. I've only used carbon fiber bow since I was age 14. And by the way, today's my birthday. I'm 25 now. So I've used carbon fiber bows for a while. They're very great because you can hit them and smack them. You know, you can do all sorts of cool stuff just by smacking it. And with a wood bow, you will have a bunch of marks, a bunch of scratch marks, and that devalues the bow. Well, with carbon fiber, that's kind of what you do with carbon fiber bows. You beat the mess out of them, and they will still not have a scratch on them. So I really recommend carbon fiber bows if you're doing a lot of extended technique. You know, you can do all sorts of stuff with that. Before I end this video, on my website, www.xavierfoley.com, I am now selling carbon fiber bows. I have this new bow called the Fiesta bow, and it's a cost-effective. It's hard stuff. It's made out of carbon fiber, like the one you see here. And so you can take a look and take a good look at that. You see the other side. This is what the bow looks like, and I'll actually post a link to it, and you can see the video of the Irish Fantasy that in that video. I used the same bow to play that Irish Fantasy, and you can hear in the video what it sounds like, and you can hear the quality of the sound that it makes. So make sure to check out the link that I post in this video. Great. So thanks for listening, and happy practicing.